me. And I could watch it for days. Like, I don't watch TV, y'all. Like,
Me
when
either.
I watch videos, I watch stuff like this. I watch people dancing. I watch people singing. I watch people, because I want real emotions. Like, I don't want that fake crap. Unless it's Hallmark. I'll go for some Hallmark.
Take
Anyways.
that fake
But,
shit.
but exactly, like, I want to see what these people are feeling. And oh my gosh, it just, you can feel it. Like, you can feel it when somebody is giving you their emotions in their art. And I literally, I can't express it, Chris. Like, I'm going to have to write a poem about this, dear God. And
Yes,
like,
yes, me too.
I literally just,
Yes.
it just makes my heart so happy to see that like
Mm,
people are doing that, because I know so many who aren't. Um,
damn, that's so real.
and God, it is. And like, like so many people have like these talents and they're told not to use them. Or they're like, like she was talking about, especially in other countries and stuff. Like, I am thankful enough to live in America. I can walk down the street and find a street performer. Like,
Yes.
truly, I can go down to the beach and find somebody playing their guitar. They might not be making money for it, but they're not being bashed for it.
Mm,
And so, like, I am lucky enough to like live in this place where I can openly like support people, and where my friends can be openly supported for their gifts. So somewhere where they can't be, that's rough. And so
yes.
just to like encourage them in any way we can on here or whatever, like, oh, my heart.
Everything you said. Thank you for sharing that. That's remarkable. And this episode is about dreams and fears, and it just naturally happened to be like, oh, okay, this is what a dream feels like, right? Like, her personified as a human being, like dreams personified as a human being, is like Zion, right? Like, or you when you do your poetry, or when we get lost in our poems.
Yeah.
That's what dreams look like because we're actually
Yes.
living in them. So, and then and you
That's what I
perfectly.
came on here to say. And then she said it for me. And I was like, okay, well,
That's why I
I'll
kept her
just
on for
add
that.
on. I love you. How do you say your name? Sion? Sion? Sion?
uh,
Sion? Sion?
Zion,
Sion?
like
I'm going to be.
and you perfectly articulated the fear aspect of it in a sense of understanding culture, understanding the dynamic of society, understanding like the reality that sometimes some people live in, and sometimes what we don't live in as well, and what are the relationships to that, and being in gratitude that you're right, we can walk down the street. Like, I went to New Orleans in January,
Hmm.
just straight street performers. Everybody's performing in bars because they can. They're not shamed for it. It's like we
Yep.
welcome it, right? We welcome that. And I know other places they don't. So thank you for touching on that, and bringing that to the surface, because it's cool to have dreams and stuff, but the reality is that we will have to face these fears, these obstacles, these challenges as you get older, because like responsibility of something that somebody else wants you to be responsible for, right?
Yep.
Comes up. But what about your dreams, right? What about your aspirations? What about that Leona when she was like 4 years old? It's like, I want to be an astronaut, right? Like, what about that? Like, this idea. So,
Yeah, exactly. Not losing that. Me and my boyfriend actually talk about a lot of stuff with this, like,
ooh,
because we like, I don't know, I'm like very like almost childlike in a way,
me too.
with
Same.
like the way that I just like jumping around and like having fun and things like that, but like while I'm like fulfilling like responsibilities. So we talk about that a lot, where he'll be like, yeah, like I still want to do all of this stuff. Like, like I want to have the job. I want to do this. Like I want to go out and do this stuff. And he's like, but at the same time, like I want to blow bubbles while I'm doing it, kind of thing,
Same.
like
Yeah.
let me like live out my fun time too. Like you can do it at the same time. There's a way to fulfill your dreams and still be in today's reality. And it's this
Ooh.
horrible balance that we teeter on all the time. And usually, like, I don't really think anybody teeters on top of it. It's kind of just like flipping over. Like, sometimes you're on one side, other times you're on the other, and you're
Yes.
just going to have to keep trying to wobble back and forth. Um,
Do you mind if I share a
yeah,
poem?
not at all.
It's by Quirk Life. I'm just like you. If it's more than like two syllables, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
done. I'm
I
done.
tried. I tried. Right? I want to be in a relationship where we can act like best friends and little kids. I want to be able to wake up in the morning and eat Lucky Charms while we watch SpongeBob. I want to be able to go outside and throw a snowball at you while I call you shithead. I want to be able to eat mac and cheese and drink apple juice while we cuddle on the couch. I want to be able to say I hate you while laughing, and you know what that really means. I love you. I want to be in a relationship where we can tease each other, but at the end of the day, you know I will always be there to hold you, wipe your tears, kiss you, love you, and most importantly, make you laugh like a little kid. This reminded me of that so much, so I had to.
Yes, that's okay. So that is literally me and my boyfriend's relationship. Like side note for the day,
Gorgeous. First of
like
all, that's gorgeous.
it
Gorgeous.
makes me like because he was my best friend first, and so oh my God, I'm not going to go on a rant about this because I could probably talk about him for hours. But he's just like that is what we have. Like I'll literally be like, I hate you so much, and he goes, I love you too, and then walks away. Like that is
And he
how
instantly knows. Yeah.
we and yeah, and it's not even like I don't even have to say it anymore. Like
Mm.
I can like say it with like a squeeze of his hand. I can say it with this. Like I can say it in other ways. Like there's different ways to do it. And sometimes he'll say it with like the one that's like put on your seatbelt. He has to remind me of that all the time. Like there are other ways to show somebody you love them, and like that playful like childlikeness though. That is, we made gingerbread houses, guys. By the way, like,
Shout out depression muffins.
yes, and so, yes, and so like,
That dynamic.
mm,
That it's a very thin line, Leona. It's so thin. Where the dynamic of your childlike wonder and also your dream-like fulfillment, right? Like this
because a
idea. Like
lot of times they oppose each other, and I feel like so many people think that if you're on one side, you can't. That was a rock. People are like, if you're on one side, you can't be on the other, and like it's not
better
true. Like
you
I
can
always have
be both.
called like myself and life a paradox because you're
Yes.
always gonna have a bit of both. Like you're gonna be soft, but you're gonna be tough. You're gonna be that like like you're
Yes.
gonna have those moments. Like it is okay. You can still be serious if you are childlike. Like if you are a jokester, if you are a sweet pea, like a little squishy baby, you can still be serious. You can still be mature. You can still do what you gotta get done. Like it is okay. Like you can do that. And so
Yeah.
many people do it the other way where they'll get so serious and so lost in
They
their
lose
wind
themselves.
and grind of the day that they forget.
Yeah.
They forget what that's like.
It breaks my heart because I know what it feels like, right? Like I grew up very like positive, so like I wouldn't even want to look at my like getting angry, like this idea, right? Even in that perspective, like embracing all your emotions in like a hug is the best thing I think you could do. Or even like you feel really angry, go blow some bubbles or something, like just to hype, like to contradict it, right? But still express yourself fluidly because I think a lot of times through poetry as well, um, it allows like maybe you can relate to this, Leona. It allows that paradox of Leona or that paradox of Chris to exist on words, and you could just be like, oh, I feel good now because I got to say this and I
Yes.
got to say this, and nobody's fucking judging me and nobody's telling me what to do because it's poetry.
Yep. And so what
Beautiful.
if they are? Do it anyway.
Fuck them. No. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Why not? Fuck. Why not? All right. Thank you for joining us, Leona. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. I didn't expect to still come on. I was kind of hoping she was going to go the whole show, and then she went off, and I was like, damn it, he's going to
Yeah,
pull me on.
you know I'm gonna get that reaction. You literally like one of my favorite people to like watch reactions from poetry, and you could just translate that to the singing or anything in life. Like when the mosquito was on your face.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
Have a good night, Leona. Good day. Good day. Good day.
Bye.
Take it easy. Thank you, Leona. Appreciate you.
Hmm.
We got one more. Three, if you don't mind. I'd love to talk dreams and aspirations. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
hold on. Let me just
Take
get
your
my
time. Take that. I'm getting myself composed
that up.
after
That was a
after.
lot. That was a lot. I didn't think you were gonna pull me on, so I was just like laying in bed. But
Yeah, if we you lay with your blanket and your.
you know,
How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah,
Okay.
this live has like been really good for me. I think
Ooh.
it's a lot of stuff that I needed to hear and just like acknowledge and really take in. So,
Absolutely. Thank
yeah.
you for sharing that. That's beautiful. And I'm so glad that the show impacted you as much as it impacted me, just listening to what you're saying. Um, and as it pertains to like dream, like how was your experience of like listening to Zion, or even not even her herself, but like the inspiration that maybe you got from her, or just the whole experience?
It was, I loved hearing her music. I think that that was like so beautiful. And I'm not trying to like downplay that by any means, but the thing that stuck out to me the most was her poem.
Yes.
Um, but it was the storytelling, like that it just, I'm like at a loss for words. It was so powerful. The story was so powerful.
Yes.
And I haven't read something that or heard
Mm,
something that amazing in a long time. So it was,
yes.
yeah, kudos
And
to her.
so
That was amazing.
I love those situations. Thank you for sharing as well. I love those experiences in life where I didn't like. I expected it because it's from greatness, but I didn't know she's gonna like drop a poem from her one of 10 books, right? Like that she has.
Hmm.
So when it did happen, I was just like my head. You know when your head's like, wait, what? Like what? What?
Hmm.
You know, like Penny. Penny says, what? What? And looks
What?
around. What? Greatness? Ah.
Yeah.
It was everything. And thank you for joining us. Is there anything in this particular topic, as in the sense, because I love your voice in these things where other people try to tell you how to be the best three, right? That's three.
Hmm.
Like when that happens in your life, is there anything maybe you want to share, like maybe fears or obstacles or challenges that maybe have you've experienced um, that resonated with you from my experiences or from Zion's experience with Leona, even Leona's, that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I think what Zion said about, like there's this expectation kind of, especially rooted very much in the culture that that someone might come from.
Yes.
There's that expectation. What you said about, like what Jay Shetty shared,
Yes.
I see that. I see that growing up. That was all around me. I'm very fortunate. My parents, like, didn't really carry that mindset as much, but a lot of kids that I was growing up with had parents who were like, okay, it's a doctor, it's a lawyer, or like there is no or, like,
Yes.
that was it. And you grow up hearing that. And then lately, I've been seeing a lot of people in my generation like break out of that mold. And it's just been so like inspiring
Mm.
to see so much more art coming through, because art was
Yes.
always looked down upon
Mhm.
in a sense, for whatever reason. And so that's been really inspiring. And I've been thinking a lot about it, like in terms of what I would tell, like if I could go back and tell my younger self something, it'd be like pursue that art.
Yes.
It's okay. And like, yes, I started writing, but I feel like I could have started a lot earlier, but I felt like it wasn't something that I was like allowed to do.
Yes.
Um, so I like try to tell my younger siblings and my younger cousins all the time to like just pursue those things, because whatever lessons I've learned from that, from starting too late or trying to break out of that mold, I try to like pass it on to them. So that resonated a lot with me.
Beautiful. Yeah. Everything you said from the progression of it, and even though it may not be like you have to be a doctor or a lawyer, whatever it may be, if you are going, or if you did go through that, or you didn't, it's still like fascinating to recognize it, that exists. Like you have to be in this mold, this cookie, and you do. I love your poetry in that sense. Like you do such a good way of portraying the cookie cutter situations that you see in your life and your experiences, and phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. We got 40 seconds left on the show, and I just wanted to say thank you for joining us and being in your life. Because look, Sri, you do your journal prompts every day,
Hmm.
right? And some days don't feel like other days, right? They
Hmm.
don't, right? But